Uh, maybe there's only two of you right now. Thank you for being here. We'll get started in a few minutes.
We will get started in a few minutes, and I just started the live streams because I don't know how long it takes for those to spin up. So
Okay.
if you're catching this on the live stream, thanks for watching. We'll get started in just a second. I'm going to turn my video on here. And this should be a great discussion. We're going to be talking about managing holiday stress from a money perspective. And we appreciate you being on the Zoom call or on Clubhouse or wherever you are. This is kind of a big fun experiment where we're in all the places. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we are on Clubhouse and Zoom all at the same time. So forgive us if we have any technical difficulties during this experiment, but I think we've got all the bugs worked out, and I think it's going to go just fine. So just hang on for about one more minute until the top of the hour. And if you're tuning in, the top of the half hour, that's actually called the bottom of the hour. Now that you mention it,
something,
yeah,
I don't even know.
No, it really is.
No, it's not the top of the hour.
It really is called
a long time.
Yeah,
once it really is called the half.
Yep.
Okay,
that's the bottom of the hour. So,
okay.
If you are unfamiliar with Penny Forward, I think everybody here that I see is, at least to some extent. But if you're not, check out our website, pennyforward.com. And there's a join Penny Forward link there. It's just $9 a month or $99 a year. And you get access to self-paced online courses, members only group chats, a weekly newsletter, access to one-to-one coaching, and a lot of other things. And if this is the first time you've joined this call and you would like to get notified of subsequent calls via email, you can do that by sending an email to pennyforward@pennyforward.com, and we'll make sure that you're on the mailing list. Okay, I am going to start recording and then we'll go right into it. Good evening, everybody. This is Financial Sense, Penny Forward's monthly public Zoom chat. And it is December 15th, 2022, right in the middle of the holiday season. And tonight we thought we were going to talk about managing holiday stress from a finance perspective. This is meant to be a lively, interactive discussion. So we are on Zoom and also Clubhouse. If you want to find us on Clubhouse, you can do that by going to the Penny Forward Club and join it, and then join the Financial Sense room. If you want to get the Zoom link, it's maybe a little bit too late, but you might be able to email pennyforward@pennyforward.com, and Mo may be able to get it to you. But you can also let us know that you would like to get emailed the Zoom link every month when we do this. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. This is, you don't have to be a member or anything like that. This is a public service of Penny Forward, and we want to make sure that you can participate. So if you're watching on YouTube or watching on Zoom and you want to get involved in future calls, that's the way to do it. Send an email to pennyforward@pennyforward.com, and we'll make sure to put you on the list so that you get those notifications when they come out. If you're unfamiliar with Penny Forward is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to help blind people navigate the complicated landscape of personal finance through education, mentoring, and mutual support. We offer self-paced online courses, weekly members-only group chats, a weekly newsletter, early access to the Penny Forward podcast, access to one-on-one coaching or financial counseling from up to 3 different financial counselor candidates. We're all students, we're all learning, but we can help you, and much, much more. So if you'd like to join us, you can do that by clicking the Join Penny Forward link right on the homepage of pennyforward.com. And you can sign up for $9 a month or $99 a year. And if you sign up for $99 a year, you save yourself about 2 months of your subscription fee. Also, since this is the holiday season and many of us like to give gifts this time of year, you can give a Penny Forward membership to a friend or family member as a gift. All you have to do is check the "This is a gift" checkbox on the sign up form, and then you can give it to a gift. It's maybe a little bit pricey gift, but if you know somebody that is wanting to learn how to manage their finances better, this could be a really good gift. And what's more, now is about the time of year when it's getting hard to get things shipped on time for Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, or for Hanukkah. So a Penny Forward subscription might be a great gift. And that's our first tip for managing the holiday stress, by the way. So managing holiday stress, it's a busy time of year. We've got lots of things to go to, especially as we are edging further and further back toward non-pandemic life. There's holiday parties, there's gift exchanges at work and with the family, and maybe with friend groups or clubs. There's gifts that you have to give to your family members, like your immediate family. I think like kids, spouses, etc. And you might be asked to prepare food for people or have people over at your house, maybe for a little while, maybe for a few hours, or maybe for quite a while, like a couple of days. All of these things can cause us a lot of stress. And we're here to talk about the kinds of things that we do to manage that stress, to keep it down to a manageable level, because you can't get rid of it completely, unfortunately. But there are definitely things that all of us have found that keep it down to a manageable level. And I'll tell you one of the things that I found that I've started doing over the past few years as I've started doing this financial education thing, and it's really helped out. Every time I buy a Christmas present for one of my kids or for a gift exchange or something, I just make a note of it and how much it cost. And I keep a journal of that so that at the end of the Christmas season, because that's what my family celebrates, I am able to use that as a template to build a budget for next year's Christmas season. So as an example, I believe that I have spent about $360. Yeah, that doesn't sound like all that much in the grand scheme of things, does it? But I've spent about $360 on Christmas presents this year. And because of that, I'm able to figure out how much money I could set aside in order to have that much to be able to spend at Christmas time next year. It works out to be just a little over $25 a month. But I get paid every 2 weeks, and so does my wife, Kelly. So 360 divided by 26 gives us what we'd have to set aside from each paycheck. And that is about $14 every 2 weeks. So just by putting away $14 right away when I get paid into my holiday fund, I have enough money to spend about $360 on Christmas gifts for my kids and my wife and our family gift exchange next year. Saves me a lot of stress because I don't like going into credit card debt at all. Bothers me. I do it sometimes, but I want to pay it off as soon as possible. And man, it just irks me to have that debt hanging over my head. So for me to be able to pay all cash and not have to worry about it impacting the rest of my normal budget, my non-holiday budget at this time of year is wonderful. But what happens if I can't save every single time? You know, things come up. Well, maybe I only have $200. Well, that still minimizes stress, or it reduces it anyway, because I have to only pay $160 out of my normal non-holiday budget this time of year for buying presents instead of the 360. So it certainly can help to keep track of what you spent this year and start to prepare for next year. If you get paid every 2 weeks, like I do, take the amount you spent this year, divide it by 26, because there are 26 paychecks in a year if you get paid every 2 weeks. And that will tell you how much you need to put aside from each paycheck in order to have that same amount for next year. So that's one of the things that I do. It gives me a lot of peace. And it's not hard. It's not very hard, especially because I like to shop on Amazon. So I'm usually buying a whole load of Christmas presents kind of all in one shot. And I can just copy and paste the total out of my shopping cart into a little notepad document or something right there on my computer while I'm ordering stuff, so that I know what I spent later on. And if I forget to do that, I can always go back and look at my past orders and figure it out from there. So online shopping can be, for some people, can be kind of dangerous because it can kind of cause you to lose track of your spending. But I also like to think that it helps me to keep track of my spending. So that's one of the things that I do just to save myself some stress. But there's a lot of you here, and I want to make sure that we get in all of your tips too. So I have some conversation starters that I can use if the conversation lags a little bit, but here's how this is going to work. I'm going to throw out a conversation starter, and you're going to raise your hand. If you're on Zoom, you can raise your hand. Mo, can you give out the instructions for raising your hand on Zoom, please?
Yes, it is. Well, if I can remember them now,
I know.
that I haven't been saying them for so long. It is Alt Y on a regular PC, Options Y, I think, on the Mac.
Clubhouse.
Uh-oh. And it is in the it's been changing on the Zoom app. And I think it's under the reactions button or under your more button. So just keep swiping and keep looking for it.
Okay. We thought we had this technical difficulty worked out, but I guess we're not hearing Zoom in Clubhouse, and we're just going to have to muddle through. So Clubhouse people, just be patient if there's kind of a lull in the conversation while we're giving out instructions or people are making your comments. And people on Zoom, if you can try and keep your comments short, I will do my best to repeat them before moving on, so that the Clubhouse people can hear. And we'll figure out what was causing this for next time. It's the first time we're trying this hookup this way. So in Clubhouse, it's a lot easier. There's a mute button. It's in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. So it's
Well, first
that's the raised hand button.
First it's request to speak.
Yeah. I'll just let Liz give out the instructions because she knows what she's talking about.
If you would like to speak in Clubhouse, there is a request to speak button. Once you press that, I will then accept your invitation, and then you will come up on stage unmuted, I believe. And so you want to be mindful of that. And I would request to minimize background noise that you mute when you're up here until you are given the opportunity to speak, at which time you can unmute and speak.
Thank you, Liz. And we're going to get better at giving these instructions out in future calls as we hook these things together more. We may even follow ACB's lead and come up with a recording that we play or something so that we have that all in one shot. But thanks to Mo and Liz for giving out those instructions. So here's how this is going to work. Mo is going to monitor Zoom. Let us know if there are raised hands there. Liz is going to monitor Clubhouse and let us know if there are raised hands there. And I'm going to throw out a conversation starter and then throw it over to Mo and then Liz and we'll bring you all in and get your tips. So I started out with a good one, which is a big deal this time of year, which is giving gifts. What are some things that you do to minimize or reduce holiday stress caused by gift giving at this time of year? Mo, any raised hands? I don't hear you, Mo, but I see that Dennis has raised his hand.
I was about to say there was no hands, and then they started to go up.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good. Hey, Dennis. Thanks for being here. What do you do?
So I actually get all the gifts earlier in the year, and I don't wait till the holiday season to get it. So, I would actually start buying gifts probably in October-ish, in November. But the last thing I want to do
I apologize
is
for any background. Dennis is saying that he starts earlier.
Sorry, I have to mute you when you do that, Liz. It's a good idea, but we end up hearing all of it. So
that's all right, Liz. But what I was saying, Chris, is just rather than waiting until the actual holiday season to buy gifts, I try to buy them earlier before the holiday season. The only downside to that is I may not necessarily get to capitalize on a lot of the holiday sales, but at least I avoid all of the hecticness of holiday shopping.
Well, things do go on sale at other times of year too. So if you're really a planner, you can try and plan throughout the year, but that's a good one. Just get gifts earlier. Thanks, Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
Mo, who else do we have?
Did you repeat what he said for Clubhouse?
So I think Liz is repeating it, and I'm muting her so that we can do it more in real time.
Okay. I don't know.
Is that correct,
Okay,
Liz?
so we have.
If that's what we're doing,
Marissa.
I'm more than happy to do that. I think that's a good idea.
It is a great idea. I just have to know to do it. I have to know you're doing it because I have to mute you so that
I guess
you don't.
just unmute me when you're asking if there are any people in Clubhouse.
Will do.
And then I'll know.
Will
Okay.
do. Okay.
But we do have Marissa up next.
Hi, Marissa.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you so much.
What do you do to reduce your stress around gift giving this time of year?
I prefer to buy friends and family gift cards.
Okay.
Sometimes, especially, I haven't seen a lot of them since COVID, some even before COVID. I haven't seen before COVID started. So I know, so I don't necessarily always have an idea of the type of physical items they like, but I know, for example, that they enjoy, things from like Apple. So I would get them like an Apple gift card or an Amazon gift card or another, company gift card.
Okay. Well, that's really good. Thanks. That's helpful. Mo, do we have anyone else who has their hands raised in Zoom?
We do not in Zoom.
All right. And I'm going to kick it over to Liz. Liz, are there any raised hands over in Clubhouse?
There are not. I'm stuck in a screen and I can't get out of it. But no, as far as I know, there are not right now.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, we'll work on. Liz will get out of the screen that she's stuck in, and we'll move on. So, and I'm just curious though, Mo, if you have any tips yourself that you want to share.
So I am also one of those people that start buying early and often as possible. So like Chris was saying, with the setting money aside every paycheck, we kind of set a little bit aside every month. And then when we see stuff that comes up, that money is there to pay for it so that we can purchase things in advance, especially since we don't see a lot, especially of my family and things. That kind of covers that. We also do an experience thing typically with my family. So that kind of cuts down on the expense because we're not purchasing for little individual things. It's just one expense altogether.
Okay. That's not what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to talk about making things.
I don't make as much as I used to because my time is valuable and most people don't appreciate it.
Oh. Well, that's too bad. Because making things can be really great. As I appreciate receiving gifts that people have made for me, especially if what they have made is somehow personalized to me and is really thoughtful. I see that Julie has raised her hand in Zoom. Julie, what do you got?
So one idea that would occur to me when you have a large number of people that you're trying to buy for is, have this conversation ahead of time so that you're not sliding anybody, but maybe just like where you draw names. Because when you're trying to buy for, say, 10 adults and 5 kids and who knows who else, it can really get unwieldy and add up. But at least maybe try to have that conversation with people ahead of time and just be like, look, if you guys are okay with us, maybe each person draws like 1 or 2 names and that's who you buy for.
Yeah, I really like that. That's something that our family does, and that's how one of the ways that we keep things down to a really minimal level for family gifts. Most of our gift money is spent on our kids, and then we spend $30 each of us on a gift that goes into a gift exchange, and we do name drawing some years, and some years we do kind of a game where all the gifts get put into a pile, and then we play some sort of game, and each person gets to draw a gift at the point where it's their turn in the game, and then you can kind of steal things from each other. But I'm not a big fan of that, because to me it's not about what you want the most. It's about just getting something and letting somebody know that they're appreciated. And so I don't like the idea myself of taking something that I want away from somebody else when maybe it was something they really wanted too. Thanks, Julie. I'm going to throw out another prompt here, and then I'm going to kick it over to Liz. And Liz, if you're able to, maybe you can share some of your own personal tips, and also let us know what's going on in Clubhouse. And I'm sorry that in Clubhouse you're not hearing the Zoom comments. We thought we had that working at the beginning of the call, and I don't know why it broke. But we'll do some experimenting and figure out how to fix that for the next month. Food is another thing that can cause a lot of holiday stress. You might have people over at your house and be expected to cook for them, or some people may have you over to their house and want you to bring something to contribute to the food. both of which can sometimes be stressors for people. So let's start with Clubhouse this time and see if anyone wants to raise your hands there, because I think that over to Zoom is working correctly. And Liz, maybe you want to start and share some of your tips while we're waiting for people to raise their hands over there.
Sure. There are no raised hands as of now. In terms of my tips related to food, I generally try to contribute something to the family meals, whether it's a dessert. Usually it's a dessert because it's the holiday season and desserts are plentiful a lot of the time. Sorry, I'm multitasking. Although sometimes in my offering to bring, to make something that is usually that is sometimes declined because there is already enough food. And usually I'm the one that's traveling. And so it's actually sometimes harder for me to make something and bring it with me,
Right.
or even have time to make something when I get to the place. So it actually is fun when I have been able to host gatherings, which has not been often, but that has been fun. I've been able to make things, and also other people have brought things as well. Also, Mary is in Clubhouse and she has raised her hand, and so I will turn it over to Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Thank you for being here, Mary. Did Clubhouse not? Maybe Clubhouse has been Clubhouse.
Not hearing Mary.
Or sometimes it takes a couple requests for it to actually send.
Yeah, there's a
Hello,
Mary's here.
everybody.
there she is.
Yay.
So sometimes, sometimes people get like stuck in the Omaha steaks and those sorts of like basket, like sending food type things.
Mhm.
And sometimes if you like do enough of them, then by the time Christmas rolls around, you get all kinds of like rewards and sales, and you can send stuff to people for a really low price. And so sometimes I end up doing that because I can't be there for the holidays, or I'm like in a Liz situation where I travel sometimes, and so sometimes you can do like a bake me a wish or Omaha steaks, or even just Hickory Farm sometimes, or whatever. But then you can just, like, I did a brownies gift basket for like one entire family because I knew they all like brownies.
Ooh.
And so I ended up spending, there were like 4 people in the family and the basket was $44. So that was kind of a relief.
$44 including shipping?
Yeah. Well, I got free shipping because Amazon Prime.
Wow.
So
$44 for a family of 4. That's about that's a little over, it's about $11 per person. That's really not bad.
yeah, I figured that was a pretty decent gift, like it's cheaper than if I would have bought them individually, because I usually spend around $15 to $20.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
My family would say, well, don't give us brownies because dad will eat them all before we get a chance. But the family hides desserts from me. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate your participation. Let's now kick it back to Zoom and see if there are any raised hands over in Zoom. I think I saw Amanda raise her hand. Amanda, go
Amanda
ahead.
Selm
Yeah.
has raised her hand.
Can I talk?
Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Mo. Hi, Liz. Hi, everybody. So, Liz actually gave this tip last year, and I told my grandma to use it. She used it for Thanksgiving, was to buy the turkey when it goes, the turkey breast and the whole turkey whenever it goes on sale. And because you can freeze it. And she did that this year. Because my family doesn't eat a whole turkey. So she bought some turkey breasts because a lot of people, they like a traditionally made turkey with just the poultry rub. And then I like a honey roasted turkey. And then there's just people that just like plain old salt, pepper, and butter turkey. So we were able to make like a variety of flavors because of that. So we buy things on sale. That's what we do. And I also buy in bulk when things go on sale too, because and freeze. Like things that we use a lot of.
Yeah, I really like that tip. Typically, turkeys, for example, go on sale right after Thanksgiving and sometimes right after Christmas, or hams go on sale right after Easter, and they'll stay good for like a year in the freezer. So, you know, if you keep them wrapped up and stuff and they don't get freezer burned, they'll stay good. Then you can make them for next year. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate it very much.
Welcome.
All right. I see 2 more raised hands.
Oh, my computer's not showing them. Laura, unless Amanda's went back up. Maybe Amanda's hand went back up, and that's why I'm not seeing them.
I don't know.
Hi,
Let's go to
Chris
Laura.
and Liz.
Hi.
I have some very dear friends that have family get-togethers, and for the last couple of years, I have bought them specialty cookies from a specialty bakery, and it's a box of mixed cookies, and they can all choose what they want. And this year I decided to vary it up a little bit. Instead of doing cookies, I found a great place that makes really good popcorn, and I bought them two totally different kinds of popcorn that'll come in a big tin, and so their family can all munch on it.
Okay. Cookies and popcorn. Very good. Thank you,
Mhm.
Laura. I appreciate it.
You're
Really
welcome.
good. All right. Was there another raised hand in Zoom, or was that just Amanda's?
It was
still being-
Amanda's. For some reason, her hand didn't stay down, but
Oh, okay.
that happens
All right.
sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just hop back over to Clubhouse. I think there may be a fairly small number of people over there, but Liz, let's just check again. Anyone over in Clubhouse that has their hand raised?
We do have a very small group of us over here, but there are no raised hands at the current time.
Okay. Well, thanks for being over there and watching. And Clubhouse isn't as good as it used to be at making things discoverable for people that so sometimes we wanted to try it because sometimes people will happen upon it by accident or get a notification on their lock screen that says that somebody is talking in a room, and they might think the topic is interesting enough to want to join, but it's not as big a novelty as it used to be back in the day. Still, it's a good, some people really like it. So we're going to try and make more use of it in the coming year. So we've been talking about food. We talked about gifts. And if you've got something, by the way, that, that covers any of those conversation topics, feel free to bring it up if you think of it later on, because, we don't have to be stuck in these particular conversation starter kind of modes all the time. Especially with the size of the group that we have on right now. Our family tends to get together at my mother-in-law's apartment building. They have a party room. And I'm telling this story because it's going to lead into the next conversation starter. So they have a party room in the basement of the apartment building. And the party room has a big TV and a lot of comfy furniture in it and a kitchen. And it's far larger than anyone's house or anyone's apartment. So we get her party room, and people bring dishes. My wife has 3 siblings, so each one of the families brings some dishes, and we usually make a ham for Christmas dinner. And that's all, kind of how things are spread out. All that stuff is prepared in this big commercial kitchen in the party room. So there's enough oven space, there's enough counter space for everyone to work, and that's kind of how we do it. But some people find it to be stressful, if they're hosting a family gathering, or if their family can't decide who's hosting a family gathering, place can be sometimes stressful. Whether you have to go somewhere and there is travel stress involved, or whether you have to have people over and you're trying to reduce the stress of entertaining them and fitting them all into your space. What are the tips you have for doing that? We do the party room thing that works really well for us and has for quite a long time. What have you got? Raise your hands in Zoom or in Clubhouse and let us know. And I'll take this quick break to say that this is a public service that, in case you're joining and in case you're watching or listening on YouTube, this is a public service we offer every 3rd Thursday of the month. And we've been doing it for about a year and a half now, I think. And it's offered by a nonprofit organization called Penny Forward. Penny Forward is an organization whose mission is to help blind people navigate the complicated landscape of education, mentoring, and mutual support. We offer online classes, members-only group chats, a weekly newsletter, early access to the Penny Forward podcast, which comes out about every 2 weeks. You get to listen to those a week before anyone else, and other things too, things like access to one-on-one coaching. So if you think that any of those things are valuable, or you'd like to just support our mission, we have some of each. I hope that you'll go to pennyforward.com and click on the Join Penny Forward link and help us out. It just costs $9 a month or $99 a year, which saves you a couple of months. And you get access to all those things. And we're adding more. And anything that we add, you will get access to. So it'll just continue to become more and more valuable. All right. Do we have any raised hands in Zoom at this point, Mo?
No hands.
Nope, I didn't notice any either. How about Clubhouse?
I can't raise my hand anymore.
Oh,
But you could speak.
you could go ahead and speak, Mary. I
Just thought of that. I was like, wait, what if Mary wants to speak again?
forgot about how that works.
Sometimes we actually, because he doesn't really plan Christmas very much, and most of the relatives and on his side of the family, people have to come into town. And so what we have done is sometimes not made it a point to not celebrate Dad's Christmas on Christmas so that we can make a reservation at a restaurant.
Okay.
But even if you do it on Christmas Day, you could always do the the Christmas Story route and go to a Chinese restaurant, and most of them are usually open on Christmas Day still, and it does save a lot of stress.
Going to a restaurant. I like it. Yeah. Not just Chinese restaurants. Some other restaurants are open on holidays. And
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you mentioned that, Mary, because I've been reading that because of inflation this year, it's not as expensive, comparatively so, to eat at a restaurant over the holidays as it normally would be. In other words, the prices have gone up for restaurant food and for food you buy in the grocery store, but the prices in the grocery store have gone up more than restaurant prices. So the difference between what you would spend to eat a meal at a restaurant and what you would spend to make the meal at home is a lot smaller than it normally is. So, this might be the year to try a restaurant meal for the holidays. Amanda had her hand raised. Amanda, what have you got?
She also lowered it, so she might have background noise.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. I did no Zoom actually did that. I don't know why I did that. I was gonna suggest the restaurant thing too, because from a mom point of view, it's really stressful for me personally as a mom to make sure my house is perfect. Those of you that have kids get it. So the last gathering that we had for Christmas, we held it at one of our favorite steakhouses here in Louisville. And what we did is we just called ahead of time and said, "Hey, we got this many people coming. Can you accommodate us on this night?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, sure." So the local restaurants are more amped to do that than the larger restaurants, especially on like a Friday or a Saturday evening. So yeah.
Okay, another vote for the restaurants. Really good. Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate you being here tonight. Travel to families' houses can be stressful for some people because travel is expensive. It's also time consuming, and there's other logistics involved if you have a disability and you need to have assistance in the airport and so forth. But travel can be less stressful, again, if you budget for it a little bit. If you set a little bit aside, knowing that usually it costs around, maybe $300 to fly somewhere, or maybe $400. So setting some aside throughout the year in order to be prepared for that is a good idea. But also planning ahead is really a good idea. Scheduling, like Dennis was talking about, buying gifts in October as opposed to December. Scheduling your flights or your train trips or whatever it might be in October as opposed to December may get you a better deal, especially with prices fluctuating as much as they have been recently. If you find a good deal on a sale to somewhere that that you're going to fly anyway, maybe you want to jump on that early so you don't have to worry about trying to find the best deal when it comes time. And there are some sites like Google Flights or Skyscanner that will search all the airlines for deals. And some of them will even send you an email and let you know when there's a deal to a destination that you want to go to. Say your family lives in St. Louis and you might want to go there. You might want to subscribe to email deals for flights to St. Louis and then go and jump on them when you can. That's one of my travel tips. I hear someone that's not muted, and I'm wondering if somebody else has a comment they want to make. Or any raised hands on Zoom.
Chris.
No hands.
Okay. I heard somebody say my name.
I didn't hear it,
Dennis,
but
I'll make a comment.
Dennis, hold on one second.
Sure.
That might have been over on Clubhouse.
It
Was that?
It was.
Okay.
We have Matt.
Oh, hi, Matt.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Good.
Good. Hey, just a little tip I wanted to share. I know you were speaking earlier about kind of starting a monthly savings for the holidays. And one thing that I do is I have a healthy lifestyle rewards program at my work that banks points. So, I can cash those points out for gift cards, right? I just kind of bank those points throughout the year, and then at the end of the year around this time, cash it out for like Amazon gift cards or something like that, and then use that to, buy gifts and stuff. So just a little tip, and I'm sure folks can do the same thing with their credit card points if you're, of course, that, if you're diligent about paying off those credit cards, on time and not accruing that debt. Some cards offer those cashback rewards. So just want to throw that out there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's a good one. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you being there on Clubhouse. Dennis, go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off earlier.
I just had to take myself off mute. So for the last number of minutes, Chris, we've been focusing on what we can do to reduce stress during the holidays, acknowledging that shopping, going to people's houses, preparing dinners and all that is stressful. And I think if we all go into the holidays with the attitude of stress is inevitable as part of the holidays, and while we can't eliminate it, we can definitely mitigate against it and manage it. But if we go in with that expectation, knowing that, we're going to encounter stress, but there's also some very good things about the holidays, like getting together with family, spending time with them, taking some time off of work. I think just our expectations, knowing that we're going to encounter it, and it's okay if we don't let it really get to us that much. The attitude is we can't eliminate it. What we know it's going to be there, but let's do what we can to lessen it. And then when it's happening, we just deal with it effectively. I think that's also a pretty healthy attitude to have going into it. So.
Yes, I definitely agree. I think it's really important to acknowledge that, it's important for us to take time for ourselves during the holidays, but it's also, important for us to remember that not everybody feels the same way we do. For example, adults might feel really stressed while kids are having a great time. And we want to make sure that our kids have a great time when they're traveling, or when they're visiting grandma and grandpa, or their aunts and uncles, or their cousins, or whatever. And it may be worth it. It may be worth it. That's definitely a good point. We talked about gift giving. We talked about food. We talked about place. I want to talk a little bit more about making things and sort of giving either things that are not made, or giving services. Because this is something that we sometimes do for people that we know need something. For example, we might, if we have a relative that has a young child, we might give homemade coupons for a couple of nights of babysitting, because babysitting can be really expensive. And if you're like us, we don't usually like to ask our family to help with babysitting, because we know that it's very time consuming and very expensive. And we don't want them to feel like they have to be obligated. So we encourage, though, people to ask us for help by giving them gifts for Christmases or birthdays, or whatever the holiday might be, encouraging them to ask us to babysit, because we like to do it. And that way it takes some of the stress off of them to figure out how to do that, not necessarily during the holidays, but at other times of the year that are also stressful. So what are some alternative ways that you have given during the holiday season before? I'm going to start over on the Clubhouse side this time. And Liz, I wonder if you have any thoughts about that. And then if you want to kick it over to any of the people that are on the stage there.
Sure. My thoughts are to just, I try to find something that I can help someone with, and make sure that they know that I'm available to help them with it, whether it's tech support, although generally with family and close friends, I give that to them for free anyway. but I just, kind of will reiterate that I'm here. I'll help them set up a new gadget that they might get at the holidays. And sometimes it may not even be services. It might be an experience that I will gift them. I think I've gifted, train tickets before, to make it easier for relatives and family and friends to travel to see whoever they might want to see. I've just done different experiences, or not even experiences, but it doesn't even have to be like a tangible thing. There's the song "I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas," and my mom really likes that song, and I actually also really like that song, the original song, not the remake. There have been a lot of remakes, but the original one. And one year I somehow found a way to go through a place where you could adopt a hippopotamus, and so I did that for my mom one year. I also somehow, I don't know how I even found this, but I named a star after her, and so there is a star in the sky that has her name on it. I just wanted to show her that the appreciation in a different way than was just something that would, maybe get, used once or maybe not at all. So there's just different ways, and she appreciated both. I mean, I'm sure she appreciates anything, but it's because the thought goes into it. But those two things, especially, she was very, very touched by those two things that I did. And I like kind of thinking about things that I know people will appreciate. And I feel like sometimes maybe even get more out of giving things than the person might out of receiving them. It means so much to me to have that, to just be part of that. So those are my thoughts.
That's so much fun. And I love it that you actually gave her a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Yeah.
and here I'm trying not to hum the song as you're mentioning it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm supposed to talk to Dennis after this. So Dennis, if I'm humming, it's Liz's fault, just so you know.
Liz, it's going to be your fault.
Anyone, he said, Liz, it's going to be your fault. Anyone over on Clubhouse have anything, kind of alternative types of gifts that they like to give or have liked to give?
At the moment, we don't have anyone else on stage other than myself and yourself, Chris. But
okay,
if that changes, I'll let you know.
Appreciate it. We have a couple of raised hands over on Zoom.
We do have a couple hands, and it is about 20 after the hour, Chris.
Yes.
And so Julie, you are up first.
Hi, Julie.
Yeah, so I'm actually on another email list, and I had this same idea in an article that they sent out where, like, you could do services. Maybe you babysit for a couple of hours. Maybe you do grocery shopping. Maybe you do a walk for somebody that's like a caregiver and give them a break, and you stay with that person who needs care for whatever. It's just make sure it's somebody you trust, and that if you're doing it, that you follow through, or somebody that you know is going to follow through. But you type out these little certificates that say, what it is that you're going to offer.
Yeah, that's really good. Another thing that just occurred to me as you were saying that, you were talking about grocery shopping. Something like an Instacart. They have subscriptions that you don't have to buy, but you can, and you get reduced delivery fees if you do that. And so if you know that somebody uses delivery services depends on them for grocery shopping or something, that they might really appreciate it if you were to give them that as a gift, just to help them out. Thanks, Julie. Was there another hand?
Yes, we have Amanda.
Go ahead, Amanda.
Hey, everybody. So I have two thoughts here. I like, first of all, I now have I Want a Hippopotamus stuck in my head. That's my favorite Christmas song too. So thanks, Liz. Um, uh, so the one thing I was going to talk about, is just helping people. So like my grandma, for example, she's learned about my chart, and she hates calling her doctor's office. So, one thing I did with her was I showed her how to set up her my chart and message her doctors and look at her records and all of that. And she thought that was so cool. She says it's so easy. And then the other thing, so sharing our love for and helping other people, I think is great. And then the other thing, I give my personal gift, I give myself, and I give like my mom and my kids is I give them time. I plan out ahead of time, what I want to do during the Christmas like season, even before even actually starting on Halloween, like in October, what I want to do in the different holidays towards the end of the year. I start planning it out, making a checklist. My husband thinks I'm crazy, but I find that if I plan those things out, I don't stress out, and I give myself, time, and I don't stress out around the holidays, because I used to be one of those people like, oh my gosh, we got to get all this done. It'd be like the weekend before Christmas. And I got to a point where I wouldn't enjoy it. And so I think giving yourself, planning ahead, and giving yourself the gift of time is really important.
Thanks, Amanda. I appreciate it. I'm gonna make that the last comment for the evening. It's almost 25 after, and I'd like to end at 7:30. And I'd like to close with this. First of all, I hope that whenever you visit friends or family for the holidays, before you leave, you do a little bit to help them clean up. I talked about using the party room at my mother-in-law's apartment, and before we all leave, it's our responsibility as the whole family to clean up the party room. So everybody is washing dishes, getting the vacuum out and vacuuming, wiping down the tables, all of this kind of stuff. And when you have 15 or 20 people doing it, it just doesn't take that long. And it's really helpful if you can leave your friends or family's homes or a space that you're sharing nicer than you found it by the time they leave. That gives them the opportunity to relax. And that's the last thing that I want to suggest for this evening, is that you take some time to relax. One of my favorite Christmas movies is A Christmas Story. A Christmas Story, it's the story of Ralphie, and he wants the Red Ryder BB gun. And my favorite scene is actually at the end, when the family is all relaxing at the end of Christmas Day, and the kids go off to sleep, and everybody is just feeling good. So there's a lot of great stuff about the holidays. There's wonderful music. There is, for those who are able to see them, there are lots and lots of lights that are still up. And if you have the time, and I suggest that you make the time to, at the end of Christmas Day, take some time to just relax, to decompress, and to recognize how much fun you've had, even though the holiday might have been stressful in some ways. I just love that about the movie, that everybody's kind of just, chilling out and remembering what a great Christmas it's been. So take the time to do that. I want to thank you all for being here and contributing tonight, your thoughts to this discussion. As some of you have observed, we are no longer listed in the ACB community events list. We unfortunately have not yet been able to come to terms with them. They were uncomfortable with us hooking Zoom and Clubhouse together and streaming on Facebook and YouTube. And so we need to, we're going to continue to have conversations with them about that. But in the meantime, the calls are still going on. You can still get notified of them. Just send an email to pennyforward@pennyforward.com and we'll add you to the list. And that way you'll know that they're coming. And next month, because it's New Year's, we'll be talking about New Year's resolutions, not the ones that you made necessarily, but the ones that you're still able to keep, because this is, of course, the third Thursday of every month. So it'll be the third Thursday in January. So we'll be checking up with you to see if you have been able to keep going with any of your New Year's resolutions by then. I'm going to do my best. I have some definitely that I'm planning to make, and I'm hoping to be able to tell you that I stuck with them at least that far. So stay tuned for that. Again, we do this every third Thursday of the month. And if you missed any of this, or you thought it was a good discussion and you want to share it with your family and friends, check it out on the Penny Forward Facebook page, the Penny Forward YouTube channel. You can find all of those things at pennyforward.com. And if you appreciate what Penny Forward does, I hope you'll join us. It's $9 a month or $99 a year. And in exchange for joining us, you'll get access to self-paced online courses, weekly members-only group chats that are kind of discussions like this on lots and lots of different topics. And sometimes we do demos and budgeting exercises and all kinds of different things. A weekly newsletter that helps you keep track of all of that stuff. 1 week early access to the Penny Forward podcast, and access to one-on-one coaching from 3 accredited financial counselor candidates that are available at Penny Forward. So all of that is available just by clicking the Join Penny Forward link on the homepage of pennyforward.com. Thank you again for being here. Thank you to all of you who are on Zoom and on Clubhouse. We'll figure out how to make that hookup work better for next month. And thanks to anyone who is watching on Facebook or on YouTube to the live streams as well. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next month.